Hi, I'm Martin.
Hi, I'm Scott, and we're part of the reserve team here at WWT.
We're going to be demonstrating some of the optics that we use on the reserve for a great day's birding.
We've come to the hide here to have a look at some of our winter wildlife out on the reserve, and binoculars are a great way to get close to those species. We've got a really busy pond here, so binoculars are going to allow me to scan across the pond and pick out the individuals that I then want to focus on. Every birder and naturalist should own a good pair of binoculars. They're a really versatile tool and you can use them in lots of different scenarios. The great field of view is going to allow us to look through all the birds on the pond. They're also lighter, so they're much more portable. And using both eyes means there's going to be less fatigue, so we can go out there for the whole day. And binoculars aren't just an essential part of your kit when you're in a hide. They should be with you at all times when you're out and about on a walk. They're going to enable you to get on targets more quickly, perhaps scan through those hedgerows looking for birds which are hiding, and then during the summer months you can use them to get closer to the orchids, the butterflies and the dragonflies without disturbing them. So when you come to buy your binoculars, you're going to be presented with two numbers. That might be 8 by 42, 10 by 50, but what do those numbers actually mean? Well, the first number is the magnification. That's how much closer your subjects are going to appear. You might think that a bigger magnification is going to give you a better experience, but you need to trade that off with the weight. The higher the numbers, the heavier the binoculars are going to be, and the more stable you're going to need to be to use them. The second number is the objective lens. That's at the bottom of the binoculars, and that dictates how much light is allowed in. Again, the bigger the number, the more light that's going to let in, the crisper the image is going to be, but you need to trade that off with the extra weight that you're going to have to carry around.
Well, I'm out here on the banks of the Severn Estuary. I'm going to use the spotting scope to look carefully through the flocks of water birds which are gathered out there and just pan through and count them. Great benefit of having a telescope is you can see things at great distance. This one's got a 25 to 50 times wide angle magnification. There's birds out there which are half a mile away. I can see what they are, identify them and count them quite easily as I pan through. The scope is only as good as what you mount it upon, so a good steady tripod so it doesn't shake or wobble, or you can use a hide mount. And then once it's all set up and it's level, you can just work your way through the flocks. And if you see anything of interest that you want to share with somebody else, obviously with binoculars you can't just pass them on and get them onto whatever you're looking at. It's very difficult. With a telescope you step aside and they look through and see exactly what you're trying to point out. So it's a really useful piece of equipment for viewing. I'm using a spotting scope which has got a wide angle zoom eyepiece. Now you can get other types of eyepieces which are fixed, so 30 times, 40 times, but these are very good, so you're able to zoom out, get a wider field of view, or really zoom in and get more detail in whatever it is you're trying to study. I tend to go for a smaller scope, a bit more compact, because I'm quite mobile around the site here. I carry it a lot, so that's why I've gone something with a 65mm objective lens, and you can go a lot bigger. It depends on what you're looking at out there. If you're sea watching or whatever it is you prefer to do, you can go bigger, right up to 115mm across. They let in more light, you get a wider field of view and a greater magnification. For me, this one works perfectly. Well, it's getting late in the day, so I'm going to head off to the estuary tower and meet up with Scott, and we'll take a look at what we can see out on the reserve. As we've seen today, binoculars and telescopes really enhance your wildlife experience. They allow you to get really close views, really see the detail in the subjects out there, and you just get a lot more out of it using quality optics. It's also important to make sure that you dress appropriately in the winter months. You want to make sure you're wearing warm clothes and obviously keep yourself cool in the summer.
And don't forget, there are some really good ID books out there to help you, many of which are now available on smartphones and tablets as well. And if you're still unsure, don't forget to ask people in the hides. They're quite often really willing to share their own knowledge. And if you want to find out what the latest is on our reserves, head to our social media feeds to check out the latest sightings.
We would like to say a really big thank you to Swarovski Optic for the loan of the equipment.
It's a great resource that allows us to carry out our monitoring work here on the reserve, but also engage our visitors with this amazing wildlife we have here.